Hi everyone, welcome to S4 Sharanya Science classes. I hope you all are able to follow my videos. If it is really helpful for you, please support me by liking and sharing with your friends. If anybody still remind to subscribe my channel, then please subscribe it also. Hi everyone, it's me Sharanya and you are watching S4 Sharanya Science classes. Today we are going to discuss about human reproduction and human reproductive system. We all know that human beings are exclusively sexually reproducing organisms, right? There is a particular age for human being in which they will attain the sexual maturity. At that age we can say that it is puberty. Puberty is the time, or we can say that it is the age or the period, it is the duration when the reproductive organs of a child start functioning and the child attains sexual maturity. You can see that in this time there will be so many secondary sexual characters. That means some visible changes will be there in the body of a male and female. Like in the sense of in a female, you can see that there will be breast development. You can see that hairs will grow in that pubic region and in the armpit region, and broadening of hips and thighs, and the girls will start menstruation and all. So these all are the changes happening in girls, and in boys you can see that there will be mustache and beard development, right? Again the hair development in the armpit region, pubic region, broadening of their shoulders, voice begins to crack, and you can see that there are so many changes. You can see that the sperm development will start. All these changes are actually because of the secondary sexual characters. These secondary sexual characters are actually by means of the sex hormones. This is due to the sex hormone production, right? You can see that the testosterone, and you can see that that's in males, and females you can see that there will be estrogens, right? So because of them, all these characters you can see that, right? Now if you want to understand the mechanism of that fertilization and the development of the embryo and all, you have to understand the reproductive system properly. So here we are going to learn about the male and female reproductive system first, the structure and function, then we will go for the further, right? So here you can see that first I am going to discuss about the male reproductive system. In a male reproductive first consists of a pair of testes. You can see that a pair of testes will be there. That means here I have shown only one part of the testes. You can see that there will be two testes. It's actually oval shaped, that are very small, right? You can see that it's like an egg shaped, oval shaped structure which will be exist in pairs, right? So there is a pair of testes. These are actually the primary reproductive organ of a male, right? And you can see that in which there will be the reproductive cells, the sperm will be produced. So inside this you can see that the sperm production, this is the structure of the sperm, right? So this is the male gamete, we can say that male gamete, right? That's actually called the sperms. These sperms are actually produced inside the testis, right? So there is a pair of testes in male, right? And you can see that these testes are actually located in the lower, that means below the lower abdominal cavity, right? And there will be a sac like structure which is called scrotum or scrotal sac. You can see that this scrotum is actually situated right outside the abdominal cavity. That means that's why I am telling lower abdominal cavity. Why it is actually situated outside? It's a very important question for the board exam, because you can see that for the sperm production, right, and maturation and the storage, all these need somewhat less temperature than our normal body temperature, at least 2 degrees less than our normal body temperature. So that's why these the testes are actually situated in the special cavity, scrotal cavity, which is situated below the abdominal cavity. That you have to remember why the testes are situated below the abdominal cavity or the scrotal sac, inside the scrotal sac. The scrotal sac I told you below the abdominal cavity because it need a somewhat lower temperature. That means at least 2 degrees Celsius lower than our normal body temperature. Then only the sperm production and maturation and storage will happen properly, right? The second structure here in male reproductive system that you have to understand, that's actually the epididymis. This is the structure, you can see that, which is the second structure we can see in that male reproductive system. Epididymis, it's actually a complex tube, right? It's a complex tube. You can see that this part is actually the epididymis. So it's a complex tube like structure, right? So you can see that around, that means inside the scrotum, and this actually temporarily stores the sperm. So it actually store the sperm temporarily. This actually, you can see that the testis will produce the sperm and it will be stored inside the epididymis for some time, right? Only temporarily, not permanently, temporarily, right? And it will help the passage of the sperm into the next tube like structure, which is called the vas deferens, right? So this is the tube like structure. This is actually arising from the lower part of that epididymis, and it will take the sperms outside the testis and it will be given to the urethra part, right? So you can see that this vas deferens is a tube like structure, right, which is actually arising from the lower part of the epididymis, right, and it will carry the sperm into the urethra part, right? So that's why it is carrying the sperm, so that's why it is also called sperm duct, right? Now you can see that the next part of this male reproductive system, the important part, this is the second part, epididymis is the second part, and this is the second part, and third part is the vas deferens, and fourth one, that's actually our penis, right? Penis or penis, you can see that this entire structure is known as the penis, right? So this is the muscular copulatory organ of male, right? What do you mean by copulation? That means sexual intercourse. That's actually called copulation. So this penis in male actually helping for the copulation, and at the time of copulation it helped that sperms, that means the transfer of sperm into the female reproductive tract. So that means at the time of sexual intercourse, these penis will be inserted into the female genital tract, that means we are telling the vagina, and where the sperms will be transferred. So that's why it is called a muscular copulatory organ, right? So rather than all these parts, you can see that some other parts is also there, like you can see that some other glands are there. That means these all are the main parts we told you. What are they? The first one, you can see that the testis, right, the primary part. Secondly, the epididymis. The third part, the tubular structure, and the fourth part, the penis, right? Penis, right? So these are the main parts we told. Along with that, you can see that there are some other parts which is actually accessory glands, we can say that, associated glands, we can say that, right? So that glands also very important. One more thing you have to remember here I told you the testis, inside the testis the sperm will produce, and the sperm will be temporarily stored in the epididymis, and it will be carried by the vas deferens into the urethra. Urethra will be extended in male into a muscular copulatory organ, which is called the penis, right? And there will be opening, right, which is called the genital pore or genital pore, right? Or in higher class you will learn that the name is actually the glans penis, that you will learn in high class. Now only you have to understand there will be a genital pore through which the sperms are actually ejected out, right? So here you can see that. Along with there are some associated glands, we can say that. What we are telling, associated glands. So these associated glands include three main glands. One is the seminal vesicle, another one the prostate gland, right? And you can see that there is another glands is there, you can see that, but that's not given in your NCERT textbook. Another one more glands is there, which is called here in this part, another one gland also will be joined, which is called the bulbourethral gland, or you can see that Cowper's gland. So this is both are same. You can say that either Cowper's gland or bulbourethral gland, right? Urethral gland, right? You can see that. So these are the other associated glands, which is actually what the main function of all these things. These glands will provide nutrition, nourishment, right? So they will provide the nourishment for that movement of the sperm, and also it will help for the lubrication, reduce the friction when they will move. So these are the other associated glands which is actually helping for the transport or easy transport of the sperms, right? So now one more thing you have to understand here. This is the entire structure of the sperm. The sperm consists of a head part, right, a middle piece and a tail part. The head parts have a cap like structure here, you can see that, which is the acrosome, in which the lytic enzymes are there, lytic enzymes or hydrolytic enzymes, right? So these are actually enzymes which we can see in lysosome and all like that. Enzymes are there at the time of penetration into the sperm. These acrosomes penetration into the ovum, these acrosomes will burst open, right, and it will release some enzymes. So it will allow that sperms which can easily enter into the ovum part. So these are the all structure. I hope you have a clear idea, right? Now we are moving into the female reproductive organ. Here you can see that this is a female reproductive organ. Again we are telling here the female reproductive system consists of a pair of ovaries. So the main primary reproductive organ, it's actually a pair of ovaries. You can see that this is the pair of ovaries, right, inside which you can see that the female reproductive cells, which is called, or the female gamete will be produced, which is called ovum or egg, right? So here you can see that along with that it will also produce some hormones which is known as the estrogen, that also you can see that estrogen. Along with that another hormone will also be produced by the ovary itself, you can see that, which is called progesterone, right? So here one more, sorry, I forgot about that. This one also you have to understand. This testis will also produce that male reproductive organ, male sex organ, which is actually testosterone, which is actually very much important in the case of male, right? Like in the same of female, you can see that there will be estrogen and along with that progesterone also will be produced, and because of this estrogen it will stimulate that ovum production, and progesterone is very important hormone which is helping for the maintenance of pregnancy, maintenance of pregnancy, right, sorry, maintenance of pregnancy, you can see that, right? So that's actually the function of progesterone, right? So estrogen and progesterone, you can see that estrogen, it's actually responsible for the secondary sexual characters and the production of ovum. Progesterone is actually helping for the maintenance of pregnancy, right? So now coming back to the structure of that female reproductive tract, female reproductive system, actually you can see that again I am telling it consists of a pair of ovaries, right? And you can see that the other part, if you are checking that, you can see that the other part, you can see that there will be oviduct which is actually carrying the ovum. So the ovum will be produced inside the ovary and this ovum will be carried by this duct, right? It is called fallopian tubule, or another name it's actually oviduct, because it's actually carrying the ovum, right? So this oviduct or the fallopian tubule which will carry the ovum from the ovary, and you can see that it's not carrying, it will carry and the ovum will be here in the fallopian tubule, and it will wait here for some time. When at the time of sexual intercourse, the penis will deposit the sperms here. So the sperms will travel through this part, the uterus part and all, and at last it will reach in the fallopian tubule. Here you can see that the fertilization, the fusion of sperm and ovum will be occur, then the zygote formation, then slowly it will come down. We are going to discuss that also. I just said here so that you will understand the process, right? So this is the portion we are telling, this is the fallopian tubule which is actually originating from the uterus itself and extending up to the ovary. You can see that it's actually originating from the uterus itself and extending up to the ovary. It receives the ovum from the ovary. And also one more thing you have to understand, the fertilization it's actually taking place inside the fallopian tubule. Most of the students are having a misconception, it is actually taking place inside the uterus. It's not taking place inside the uterus, it's actually the fertilization taking place inside the fallopian tubule. So this is the second important part. We told ovary, the second part the fallopian tubule or the oviduct. Now next comes that important part which is the uterus, right? So uterus, it's actually, you can see that the inverted pear shaped structure, you can see that if you are checking that this is actually an inverted pear, right? Inverted pear like structure it is having, You can see that inverted pear like structure it is having, right? So this is the uterus part. We are telling it has having inverted pear like structure is there, right? And it is a muscular hollow structure and also called womb. It can be also called as womb also. It is a very muscular, highly muscular structure, and in which the fetus development is actually taking place. So that once that implantation, that means zygote embryo formation will be there, the fetus will be stick onto this wall and it will grow inside this. So that's why we are telling it's highly muscular. Once the fetus will that now grow, along with that the muscular wall will also expand, so to accommodate that fetus, right? Now the next part we are telling, that's actually the cervix part. You can see that there will be a narrow opening of that uterus into the what will say vaginal part, the opening outside part. That's narrow opening of this uterus is called cervix, right? So cervix, you can see that the narrow lower part of the uterus which opens into the vagina, right? And vagina, which is the external genitalia, we are telling the reproductive tract also, we can say that reproductive tract, right? Reproductive tract, we can say that. And here which receives that actually the sperm during the time of copulation or sexual intercourse, this vagina part is actually receiving the sperm. And here the vagina have another function, it is actually acting as a birth canal, right? So you can see that it is acting as a birth canal. That means once that proper growth of the baby fetus will occur, and this through the same path you can see that the vagina, the delivery of that baby, right? That means the baby will be delivered outside, so that's birth occurring here. So that's why it is also called as the birth canal, right? So these all are the parts of the female reproductive system. I hope it is very clear for you, right? So once again I will tell you all the parts and all, then you will have a clear idea, right? So here you can see that I am just telling all the parts once again. In the case of male, you can see that a pair of testes, this testis will produce the sperm, right? And the sperm will be temporarily stored in the epididymis. This is temporarily stored and it will be taken outside by the vas deferens, and this vas deferens will give the sperms to urethra. In that urethra region there will be three gland secretion. One is the prostate gland and another one Copper's gland, and you can see that another one you can say seminal vesicle. These three glands will secrete some secretion along with the, here you can see that till urethra the sperm is there. Now this secretion, that's actually the nourishing secretion or the lubrication easy movement secretion plus the sperm, now we will give a name it as semen, right? And this will be carried out through the urethra into the muscular copulatory part which is called the penis, right? And penis is the muscular copulatory part which is actually helping for the ejaculation or that transfer of the sperm into the, or the, now it's not the sperm, right? Now it is actually the semen which contain the nourishment part. What is the function of the semen? Here you can see that the nourishment fluid is there which is actually helping for the sperm, and also you can see that it is reducing the friction or the easy movement of the sperm, that also ensures by the semen. These are the secretion from all these three glands. Now the semen will be that now at the time of copulation it will be given or transferred into the female vagina part. Through the vagina it is actually, you can see that it is acting as a birth canal, and also it is the area which receives the sperms, and the sperms will be travel into the, it will cross the cervix barrier, cervix, that the narrow opening of that uterus, and it can be go through the uterus part which I told you, which is a muscular part, right? Highly muscular part, the pear shaped muscular organ, and it will go through the and it will cross the uterus also, and the sperms will reach in the fallopian tube, right, where the ovum is waiting, right? So this fallopian tube, I told you this, if this is the ovary part, the ovum will be produced and the ovum is taken by the fallopian tubule, right, and it will travel, and in the middle section of that the fallopian tubule, this ovary will be, ovum will be waited for the sperm. So the sperm now reach in the fallopian tubule, right? So this is the sperm. Now these area in the fallopian tubule, they will meet the fusion of the male gamete and the female gamete, which is called fertilization, right? Now this will form, the male and female gamete will fuse together to form the zygote structure. So this is the male reproductive part also I told, the female reproductive part also I told. I hope it is clear now, right? Now we have to go for the fertilization part, right? So here you have to remember one more thing, right? So here when a girl child is born, that time itself the ovary will be already ready for that. That means the ovary will contain thousands of immature sperms, immature ovums, right? That will be attain maturity at the time of puberty, but it's not actually producing. That's the difference. In male, actually the sperms are producing at the time of puberty, but in the case of female, this already produced there, but they will attain maturity at the time of puberty only. So please don't say that the sperms are, that ovum are produced at the time of maturity. The ovum already produced when the girl child is in the mother's womb. At the fetus stage itself, that ovums already produced, but it immature ovum. That will be getting maturity, it will attain maturity only when the girl child will become that means attain the sexual maturity at the age of puberty, right? But in the case of male, the sperm production itself happening in the time of puberty, right? I hope it is clear for you, right? Now what do you mean by fertilization? I told you at the time of sexual intercourse, the sperms from the male enter into the vagina of the female, and the sperms will reach, right? It will cross the cervix part, the uterus part, and you can see that will reach at the ovum. Ovum, that means which is inside the fallopian tubule, right? And it will fuse with that ovum and it will form into a zygote. You can see here in the picture, this is the ovary part from which an unfertilized egg will come. Here it will wait, and where the sperms will come, if this is a sperm, now the fusion will occur, which is called the fertilization. Once the fertilization occur, these ovum, right, the egg will be converted into the zygote, right? So this zygote will continue undergo continuous division. This time, that means first it will divided into 2 to 4, then it to 8 to 16, 32, like that. Whenever it will move down through the fallopian tube, the same part it will continuously divide. So this is the embryonic stage. You can see that different stages of division. Once it will become the continuous, that means a particular stage will be there, which is called the blastocyst. You will learn in higher class, right? So that stage, it will slowly come down to the uterine wall and it will be embedded. That means it will be inside, it will be embedded into the uterine wall. So this process is called implantation. So you can see here the fertilization will be there, right? So the fusion of sperm and ovum, that process is called fertilization. The fertilized egg, that will be converted into that, the fertilized egg we can say that, which is the zygote. Zygote actually undergo continuous division when it will move through the fallopian tubule, move down to the uterus, right? And it will be reach in the uterine lining, right? And it will be embedded into the uterine lining, which is called the implantation, right? Now the implanted embryo, which will get nourishment from the uterine wall, there will be a rich supply of blood vessels, so they will get the nourishment and all, and they will start growing, right? So if the zygote is not formed, that means if the fusion not take place, so what will happen? You can see that the outer, that means before this fusion and all, you can see that the inner wall, there will be 3 wall in the uterus. The inner wall will be having rich supply of blood vessels. These all things will be ready for the development of the zygote, right? Or that embryo, we can say that. If these all fusion, the fertilization not take place, so what will happen here? You can see that these embryo formation will not be, the zygote formation will not be there, the embryo formation will not be there. So what will happen? So here you have to, that means ovum will be waiting here, unfertilized ovum, it has to be removed from that. Along with that, there will be a large amount of uterine wall, blood vessels will be there. So this uterine wall will be ruptured by the continuous contraction of the uterus. This will be contracted, because of that the lining will be ruptured. Along with the ovum, it will be given out, and the process is known as menstruation. or the menstrual cycle. You can see that, right? So it occur at a regular interval of 28 days. This menstruation will occur at a regular interval of 28 days, right? So here you can see that I told you already, right? So here you can see that during the sexual intercourse, the sperms from the male enter into the vagina of the female, and it reach the oviduct, and the fusion will be there. That will be forming the zygote. The zygote will be converted into the embryo by the continuous division, and it will be implanted in the uterine wall, right? And you can see that there will be once this proper implantation occur, there will be a disc-like structure, right, which is actually rich with the mother's blood vessels and all, right? So that disc-like structure, you can see that, which is formed inside the uterus, right? So this structure, the embryo gets nutrition from the mother's blood with the help of a special tissue, right, which is called the placenta, a disc shaped structure which is having a rich supply of blood vessels. So whatever the oxygen, whatever glucose, whatever things needed for that embryo, that fetus, that will be taken from the mother's blood. So that's actually a special structure from the special structure which is called the placenta, right? So here you can see that this placenta will provide a large surface area for the glucose and oxygen to pass from the mother to the embryo, right? And also after that development, you can see that the embryo respire and all these things, there will be waste material that will also taken by the placenta itself, that will be given to the placenta, right? And it will be removed through the mother's body, right? So and this you can see that, I mean, there will be a time of growth, that we can say that gestation period period of that growth of that fetus, we can say that, and that's in the case of human being, that about 9 months and 9 days, that we can say that simply 9 months. So that's the gestation period, right? So I hope you have a clear idea. Again I will summarize this, what happened. You can see that the sperm and ovum will fuse to form zygote. The zygote will undergo continuous division, then we can say it as embryo. This embryo will be implanted. That process is called the implantation. This process is called fertilization. Here the implantation in the mother's womb, the implanted fetus, the embryo will be getting nourishment from the placenta, which is the disc shaped structure which is having so much of blood vessels, right? And the placenta will give nourishment for the baby, for the fetus, and also it will take the waste material from that and give to the mother's body. The transfer, both it is actually happening by the placenta itself, right? Now what will happen, it will slowly grow, right? And it will take minimum 9 months to that, and after that, if the maturity attain, that what we say that the delivery of the baby, right? So what we can say that the baby will be, you can see that delivered outside through the vagina, which is known as the birth canal, right? So and that process is called a parturition, right? So the process is called a parturition. So I hope you understand the process, the development and everything, right? So here the time of that, you can see that that means if the complete growth occur, the child is born as a result of the rhythmic contraction. You can see that there will be rhythmic contraction of the uterine wall. You can see that uterine wall. Because of that, there will be a very high pain, and that will be because of the high contraction, and the baby will be delivered out, and the entire process is known as the parturition. I hope you understand the entire process clear, the male reproductive system and the female reproductive system, right? So here I told you already what you mean by menstruation. If the ovary produces 1 egg in every month, you can see that, and if the fertilization is not occurring, that means the fusion of male and female gamete is not at all happening, right? You can see that the walls before receiving the sperm and all, the uterus itself will be get ready for the receiving the fertilized egg. So you can see that the uterine wall will become very thick with the blood vessels and all, so that it can, the embryo can grow very easily in the future, right? So there will be a rich supply of blood vessels and all. But if the fertilization is take place, these blood vessels and having not, there is no role for that, so that must be removed. So that must be removed along with the ovum, and that process is known as that's also happening by the contraction relaxation of the uterus muscles itself, and this process is known as the menstruation or menstrual cycle, right? So here you can see that the ovary produces one egg every month, right? And that means alternate ovary. From that means this month here this ovary produces that only one ovum released in a month. That means there will be so many unmature ovum, and every month only one ovum will get matured and that will be released. If this month this from this, the next month from this, right? So it is alternatively, and the next month from again this, right? So alternatively it will release that, right? So here you can see that every month, and the uterus that now prepares to receive the fertilized egg, right? So its walls become very thick and spongy with the blood vessels for the nourishment of embryo, that I have already told you. So if the fertilization does not take place, then the uterine wall breaks and comes out through the vagina, the blood and the mucus and all these things, and along with the ovum, right? Unfertilized ovum, right? So this cycle take place once every month, and this process is known as the menstruation or the menstrual cycle. I hope all the process is clear for you, right? That male reproductive system and female reproductive system, I hope it is very clear, very much clear for you all. If you like my video, please subscribe. If anybody reminding to subscribe, share with your friends, and please support me. Thank you. Hope you all understood this video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.